We're live. What's going
What
on?
a day, Andrew.
Been busy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've got my night shirt on. I'm off. I'm
No,
going to
you
go out
do
night
not.
clubbing later. I do. Look, not my night shirt, my going out night shirt.
Oh, I'm like, you're in your.
You know.
I never understood the idea of
Yeah.
pajamas that are like buttons and collars. It seems so silly.
This isn't a pajama with buttons and collars. This is a shirt. What are you thinking?
I know.
Bud's obviously scrambled your brain. I saw that. How was that chaos going on?
Hilarious. I'm not very good at his game. It's fun though. Did you play it?
No.
Those listening, if anybody would like to play it, it's at seriouslybud.com/voice. And you can listen to voices that were people that were both on his podcast and have also spoken at the summit. There was a decent overlap. And so they made a game where it's like, name that tune, but name that voice. Anyway, it's tricky. So, Andrew, what hit you today? What was good?
What hit me straight in the face was Eugene. I managed to watch a little bit of Eugene Levine, but in between going into in and out Slack groups. What a clever chap! What a clever man who does. It's just crazy, and it kind of blows my mind. And all the tips and tricks, and how to negotiate, and how to be there for people, and all that kind of stuff. All the things that got me. What did you think of that one? Did you manage to watch that? Were you sunning it by the beach?
I was not by the beach. I had a talk after that, and I was a little frazzled. I was trying to get myself ready for that, collect my thoughts, redo my slideshow.
Yeah, all the things. My slideshow is not perfect, so I'm going to do it 5 times in 10 minutes just before I go.
And then I totally screwed it up too, so that was fun. But I'm so glad.
You did. I don't think you did. How dare you be so modest? No, you definitely didn't. So
I'm so glad that my talk is done though. It was fun. I loved it, and I'm glad that it was early in the summit, so I don't have to have it hanging over me. Because now I'm footloose and fancy free.
You are. What about Harms and Termageddon? We know and love him, and actually stayed in his house. What name dropping really? But what's happened to Vito? Vito had what did we say? None of us are allowed in the same room with Harms.
You guys,
crazy.
If you're listening out there, did you hear what I said about me, Andrew, Hans, and Vito, and Donata too? But we're not supposed to all be in the same place together. And oh man, thank you. Look, I just got delivery. Little beverage.
Where's your mum when I need her? She's there.
So
why isn't she here?
I know. So we're not all supposed to be in the same place because somebody gets sick and maybe almost dies. You never know. It's happened. And the running joke is that Vito hasn't been hit yet. Do you know today Vito's sick? Right after Hans's talk, he got a fever.
Oh, good. So, yeah.
Anyway, he went to bed early, so he'll be up and ready to go tomorrow.
He'll be with us in the morning. So what was your highlight of the day? Really, this is what this is. This is a hard thing to organize. It's all there.
I got my notes.
You take notes. What's going on? I don't take any notes. I remember stuff.
I don't remember anything. I take notes on paper because it's what else is better than this sound when you're on a microphone, Just makes sense.
Yeah.
So
phone is sitting on what, a tomato can?
I don't know what you're saying. Oh, you know what? I did hear a little bit of Eugene. He said, at this point, you have to automate content generation to be competitive. I thought that was an extremely powerful and insightful comment. And he said, basically, because of the amount of the quantity that you need to produce, and that it's not cost effective to do it manual anymore. So that was a little nug.
Well, there was, back in the day, we talked about SEO with the Duda guy, and that was cool. I haven't forgotten his name. I know his name.
How can you not call him the Duda dude?
the dude, because I'm just not as corny as you or as
Mhm.
predictable, really, But it's basically we had a really good conversation about SEO and things like that before we went live, and some of the stuff that Sean was saying from Duda was very, very relevant. And basically, we've got to really think about content still is king, and also talking about schema and all the things that we're doing there.
Schema.
And that's it, really. I mean, I had Bob Babola. He was amazing. Long talk, an hour's talk, because he's a sponsor. We give sponsors an hour's talk, and he filled it with every single slide had something on it that you could take away and just really be entertained. So what was your real takeaway of today, Steph? What's going on?
Oh, okay. I thought we were just sort of going through them a little bit.
We are.
In order of talks, because I don't want to play favorites. But
oh, really? Okay. I want to play favorites. I like playing favorites.
I know you do. Aaron Edwards.
He's one of my favorite guys anyway. So
right?
I tell you.
So smart. He is the guy behind DocSpot, which I have been seeing more and more and more of. And my nugget from his talk was he was talking about SaaS, and he said we're moving away from software as a service, and what we're moving toward is service as a software. Not a great line,
isn't it though? He's he's a bit clever, with being CTO of a hosting company for a long, long time and in charge of loads of plugins. They used to sell their plugins individual and everything, so he knew what he was doing, and he also knows this is his secret. What the support burden is on agencies and hosts. It's a massive support burden. Imagine you're hosting 20 million websites, right? You can't have one-to-one support. That's 20 million support engineers you've got to have. Imagine the burden that AI, really well-educated, well-informed AI can help you get rid of what did he say? 67 to 75% of all support queries just were fixed by AI of the 6 million that they've done over the years in the 3 years that he's been established. So that's a crazy statistic. Easy for you to say, but you're right. Software as a service, cool, or service as a software, whatever it is. What else? What else you got? Because you took notes, I didn't.
Yeah, I thought you remembered everything.
Well, I do. I've got some, I got some things to say about Robert Abela, but I'm not doing stuff in order. So, if you want to talk about things in order, we're talking about Soren Jensen.
So then after my talk, did you want to share any nuggets from my talk, Andrew? It would be immodest for me to do so, I think.
I think the number one nugget, the only thing that you can take from your talk is get it done. Get that bus proofing done. There's no other thing. Yes, you told your story, and it's difficult for me because I was emotionally involved in that as well, because I was around you and everything, and I had to go to Mexico.
Not only around me. I mean, I feel like by now the whole WordPress agency space knows the story. But for the two of you out there who don't, Andrew Palmer actually called the ambulance when I was in the. He's the one who realized I was unconscious, and so he's even though he's a little rough around the edges, he'll always have a little place right here. You know what I mean? He's my pal. So yeah, it was a rough go, but that's one of the jokes with Hudson Donata too, because we were at their house. So
yeah, exactly. But they, I think they actually they called 911 because I couldn't, because I had a UK phone. I just shouted to them, call 911.
He's over there dialing 999. Nobody's picking up.
I didn't know what the hell was going on. A fire engine turns up, and what, you get a fire engine when it's 911. But anyway, we did that, and we got over, and Hans and Donata supported you and everything. But the number one thing is to get it done. Make sure that if you've got a business, you're in charge of a business, you're a key person. We used to call it in the UK key man insurance and everything.
That's still a thing.
Sure that exactly. We'll make sure that people that are aware of you or in your business are aware of the things that you control, because sometimes even if the people are in control of an off switch, you need to know where the off switch is, right?
Mhm.
So that's the key. And
There were
that
just
one thing,
so many little things that fell
yeah,
through, that fell apart, even though I had some stuff in place, but I didn't have a good plan, and so that's why I mean, it's been 2.5 years now since that incident, and I have spent so many hours and hours and hours thinking about it and talking about it, trying to figure out how to solve the problem, and because what is the problem? The problem isn't even getting hit by a bus, it isn't what happens to you, and it isn't understanding that you need something. The problem is, like you're saying, it's actually doing it because it's
mm.
one of those important, not urgent things until it's too late. So anyway,
Well,
I
like
tried
privacy
really
policies, right?
yeah, exactly. I tried really hard to simplify it down so that you can have I love the concept of like 3 days because there's so many things. Your appendix bursts or you get COVID or there's something happens to your kid has to go get stitches or something like that, right? Whatever it is, like you could sort of for many, many, many scenarios that happen after
Mm,
3 days, you could be back in the saddle. So, um,
exactly,
that to
exactly.
me was like easier to wrap my head around and try instead of trying to figure out every single possible scenario and every single possible task that would need done. That's just overwhelming. So, anyway,
But
all
it
right.
is overwhelming. But one last thing on that is that basically everything, and this is where process comes in, standard operating procedures, boring stuff, all the things that make your business turn over its wheels. Those are the things that you need to protect. Those are the things that you need to put into your bus proofing, because
Mhm.
you've got, like, when I log on to adobe.com, what's the password? What's the authentication? Where's the authenticator sitting? Et cetera, et cetera. Where's the 2FA? And before we had 2FA, it wouldn't be too much of an issue to log into, for anyone to log into your accounts. But with 2FA, like you forgot or we didn't know your password on your phone, really quite frustrating. But also
Mhm.
bills don't get paid, wages don't get paid because there's no one to authorize that transaction that goes through the bank, all those kind of things. So yeah,
Yep.
just
And the
underline that is
personal
just
stuff. And you
crazy.
can go way, way, way deeper than what I did
Mm,
in that talk. That's the like 72 hour. That's the go bag, the bug out. That's
yeah.
like you keep your 3 gallons of water per person in your house in case of the emergency storm or whatever. But you can go way farther than that, and it doesn't have to be just one person. That's the other thing. It's kind of interesting.
That's true.
I also
So
like
anyway,
the concept. Oh,
I wanted to move on to Soren.
oh, go ahead.
Got it sussed. He's got it sussed, and he went down to a niche, a very specialized niche, learning management systems, video within the WordPress, etc., etc. But moved from Denmark, where he was getting hassled by all sorts of people and saying yes to everything. Lives in Thailand in the sun. Now he's got people that work with him as well, and he's got his business sorted. So that's one thing that I wouldn't wanted everybody to think about, especially with Alison Rothwell as well. Lessening
Mm,
the load on your business, lessening the load on you. If you niche down and you get a really good recurring income situation sorted out, that means that you're doing less, your staff are doing less, for more, if you like. They're working their 5-day weeks. They don't have to work 7 days a week. There's no emergencies because you've got this productized offering that you're giving to everybody. So, excuse me, that's what I took away from Soren and Alison's talks as well. So next, what did you think of Robert Abela? You met that nice man? Have you met him in real life? Did you make any notes?
that's not that's not whose talk I did next.
Oh no, whose talk did you do next?
Ken
I'm talking
Kelly.
about my talks. Oh, Ken, yeah. Ken popped into
Mhm.
the lounge, which was nice.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah.
I thought that talk was gonna be very different than it was, n not better or worse, but I it just wasn't what I expected, but it was really good. It was about, uh, creating a culture, like, culture in your business and how important
Sure.
that is, and I'll tell you, I that tends to feel like fluff to me.
Mhm.
And sorry, I'm typing in the live chat while we're doing this. I'm multitasking as always.
Well done. Well done.
So that tends to feel a little bit like a nice to have, not a need to have, but not when you heard Ken talk about it. And I loved it too, because he talked about how at their company there is no such thing as like emailing somebody when they're at home off, or like you're not expected to check your emails all day. You're not expected, I mean, all day, like when you're not working. And if there was other things too, like when you're at your best, like when you first get to the office, if that's your best, which wouldn't be mine, but they want people to spend their first 90 minutes in deep work, not looking at emails, not in meetings. And then other things happen throughout the day. So I was like, wow, that's really like, there was just so many little things like that. So this isn't someone taking you on a retreat, making you do a trust fall or some stupid thing like that, right? It's someone that is actually putting into practice this stuff and enforcing these things that are benefits to their team. So that was really interesting. And he said, hold on. Oh, he said, let async actually be async, which I have seen that in so many Slack channels or other kind of communication where it's like, oh, we could just do this async. And then you're almost kind of like, you feel like it's expected that you actually respond.
Yeah, you have to answer
right away.
1 o'clock in the morning, your time. Yeah, that's the kind of thing. I get that. And
Anyway.
it's difficult when you're running a lean organization, but it is a good philosophy to have. And it's also difficult when you've got so many people. Maybe you've only got a few people that are responsible for sales. And we also know in this web world that we live in that customers can be fairly demanding, let's say. Some would say unreasonable in some instances, because they want things done immediately on their timeline. Even if you've tried to educate your clients. We're in the UK. I'm in the UK, for instance. When I had an agency, I had Australian customers, I had New Zealand customers, I had Italian, whatever. Slightly different timelines, and they knew that we were in the UK. No, I want it done now. And it was 4 o'clock in the morning. So, it was it's difficult to have that kind of philosophy and stick to it, especially when you're the owner of a business. But if you can get there, like Ken says, they've, very strict about it, make async, fantastic. That's the whole point of the internet, isn't it? I can communicate with somebody across the world.
I don't know if that's the whole point.
Well,
there's cat videos. Don't forget. I'm
yeah.
my page. Okay. Do you guys want to hear a funny? You want to hear a little behind the scenes story of something that happened? Yeah. I was prepping the tech for one of our speakers before their talk, and that's basically where we just make sure their audio sounds good and their video is good and all of that. And we weren't live. So it's just a little more casual, whatever. And I was, I had just opened this little package of something. It's this little clear plastic. And I was like monkeying with it and set it down. And if you must know, it was Bud. And he's like, you can't hear or see. So it's always a gamble. And he's like, are you getting a lot of crackling on the line? And I'm like, no. And he goes, I hear a lot of crackling. And I said, did it stop? And he's like, I don't think so. Did it sound like this? He's like, that's it. Anyway, it was cute.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell tales on something else that happened this afternoon, but we'll leave that one just in case.
No, we're not.
We've got
Andrew, guess who's here?
Yeah, I see them.
Vito.
Zachary Mims. Yeah. Okay. Vibe Game Master. Love the job title there, Zachary Mims.
Did I
introduce Zachary to the crowd that are watching, to the people that are watching.
Did you tell me to, or you said you were going to?
No, you.
I believe this is the first time they've ever let me on stage as well.
And nobody did a tech check on you because your microphone is all garbled.
Oh, it is? I'm sorry.
Good
I took the Yeti.
It's okay.
Real quick. Hey,
Anamika on Facebook says, hey, you two, just waving hello.
Hello.
And then 1 minute later on YouTube says, "Good night to both of you."
You lightweight.
Thanks,
Lightweight.
Anamika. Nice to see you.
Yeah, crazy. So we've got yeah, you I think you haven't plugged in your mic properly. You're still talking through your computer.
Oh, dang. I'm sorry, guys.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It's not
Well,
bad.
I'm hosting with Bud on Thursday, so I'll make sure I get that figured out.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna throw you off the stage until Ryan sorts your microphone out. See you later. Right, let's get some real tech stuff together. We've got I hate being rude to Zachary, but anyway, it's kind of funny. Stephanie, go through it. What are we doing?
Yes, sir. What am I doing? Oh,
You're in charge.
More talk?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
More talks. Yeah.
When?
Of course.
Okay,
This is what happened during the day. Next up.
Manesh. What a guy. Andrew, do you know how well do you know Manesh? Not much, right?
Yeah.
This guy started a business.
I know of him because
like 15 years ago, something like that, with like $1,200, started an agency. I don't know. He had low capital. And then he has grown it and grown it. And he has such a brilliant way of looking at things that he has grown it to be literally in the top 1% of agencies in the world. And he came on to the summit and said, "Here's my playbook." Not here's what I did. There's a little of that, but he also said, "This is what you should do," basically. So he gave away what you should do. And he talks about how they don't follow the market. They make their market. Like they determine what their market, like they create it.
It's quite a confident thing to say, isn't it? It's a bit like Apple made the iPhone.
Kind of, yeah. Like no, we'll tell you what you like. And so they, so he gobbles up agencies. I think he's about 3 in the past few years or so, and has about 400 staff, something like that. Humble, kind, like mild person, super lovely. And I got a. Do you want to hear some nugs? Oh wait, Zachary's back.
Always.
Let's see. What do we think? Now you're muted. It's not going well.
We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a little strong, but yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Not really,
it's
but
passable.
never mind. It's point it away from you. Put it at an angle like this. Point it away from you like that. So that's it. Stephanie taught me how to use it. That's it. Put it away. Now speak.
This is a test.
It's not good. Who
tech
checked you?
We got
Nobody.
two tech checks.
Oh,
Ryan's not even tech. Ryan's not. Nobody tech checked you. Don't worry. People can put up with it.
These were his top 4 steps for I guess being a top 1%er. Number 1, free up your time. He talked about like these different mental frameworks you can have. Zachary, you caught a couple of those things. What'd you like there? Do you know what I'm talking about? Sorry, I just jumped that in.
Manish.
No, sorry,
No, it's okay. I know you're still panicking about your microphone. He had the mental frameworks, like find people who love to do what you hate to do. And there were a couple other things like work when you have inspiration, then rest and repeat. Like that sounds so great. What if you never want to work though? That's what I wanted to ask him.
Well, that's kind of I was going to kind of comment on that, but I don't want to get told off by your mum, basically.
Then he says growth requires a different leadership structure. So this guy, this is another example of how like humble and cool, like just down to earth he is. He grew this very successful agency, humongous successful agency, and he understood that he needed to step back and have somebody else come in to take it to the next level.
Now, often CEOs or founders don't see that, and that's it. They blinkered because they're the visionary, they're the creator, they're whatever. But sometimes that visionary is so blinkered. And that's hence Tim Cook. Like I made a comment the other day about Tim Cook in your focus group, I think it was. And I think what we have to do as managers is learn to trust. It's very difficult because people can muck up your business.
Though?
But
I have a little thing because you feel like you're a control freak, right?
Yeah.
But you're not, because this is what I had this epiphany one day. You're not a control freak, and I'll tell you why. This is how you feel. You don't want anything below your standards being shipped to clients without you being able to fix it or know what's going on or whatever, right?
Sure.
It's because you don't want that to happen. That's not unreasonable. That's how you should feel. That's not being a control freak. That's not having people that are implementing things properly.
Well, that could be down to training as well, and down to, again, to culture and everything, and being open about what you're trying to do. I mean, we have in all the businesses that I've had, let's take a restaurant, for instance. You have to learn how to serve people. It's not in your DNA. It can't be. It's not a natural thing to serve people, right? It's a natural thing to be served. We all like to be served, but to serve people appropriately, exactly. We all love to be served, but to be able to make a cocktail and excite people behind a bar, and you've got to learn the skills of being a cocktail bar person. You've got to learn the skills of being a front of house. You've got to learn the skills of how to clear a table properly without spilling all the leftovers on your customers and all that kind of stuff. And also the art of upselling. When you have a table of 4 and they're ordering wine, you actually want them to order the more expensive bottle of wine. You say, well, you can go for the house. It's an adequate wine, but really, I think the Malbec or the Merlot would do you better. It's a nice, it's a great vintage, whatever. It's slightly more expensive, but it's really worth the taste, and all that kind of stuff. You need to really be able to teach people, and eventually you'll get a maitre d' person, and that maitre d' will then train them, and then you, as the restaurant owner, as the le patron, can leave them to it and trust them. Yeah.
Did I ever tell you that when I did serving?
Sorry.
Did I ever tell you I was a server?
No.
Yeah, Cheesecake Factory doesn't.
3 or 4. No, it wasn't Cheesecake Factory. I did it like 3 or 4 times, and I am real bad at it. I
love it.
Real bad. Yeah.
No, I love it. I think it's
I'll tell
great.
you some stories later. I know you're good at it, but okay. So what's next? Then his next 2 points were acquisitions. So they were very strategic about financing. He said something that, like, this is why my business isn't bigger than it is, because he said this. Well, the interest rates were great, so we'd borrow money at 5%, buy a business that had a 15% profit rate, and it was a no-brainer. What? Like, that's so good. And I'm like, that I don't think that way, and I want to real bad. So,
well, you don't think that way because of risk. It's because you're risk averse, all those kind of thing. So you've got all the things around taking a risk when you buy a business. When you start a business, you've taken a massive risk, both a personal risk and will people like what I'm doing and all that kind of stuff. When you buy another business, there's another risk involved on that. But that measurement, if I'm borrowing at 5% and the company's making 15%, well, it's a no-brainer. So yeah, that's great advice. I love that advice.
Yeah, I thought it was so good.
Yeah, I think it is.
So
we've got we've got some people coming into the rooms. I'm seeing people that are very familiar to us coming into rooms. What do you think? I don't know whether they've. Let's have a little look. Who's this? Oh, Paul, Buzzwords to Business. Paul, did you what? Welcome to the overview of what we've gone through today. Did you manage to watch any of the talks?
Yeah, I did. I caught a couple. I'm looking forward to catching a bunch of them in replay. I just had a whole lot of shit hit the fan today that I had to take care of for client stuff, as we're all familiar. But I just saw the note on the Focus Facebook message chat stuff that you guys were kicking off the chat here. So that was where I found this to jump in. I hadn't even been back to the conference page itself. So yeah, I got to hear Steph kick ass. Well done, Stephanie.
Oh, you did?
I loved your. Oh yeah.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed the whole thing. I was back channeling with Udo while you were presenting, and it was so, we're both commenting that it was just so much Stephanie. I mean, it's what you do, but it's less here's my presentation and more so let's just sit and chat about this thing that we should all think about.
Yeah.
So it was good.
It
really came across well.
Well, thank you so much. That means so much to me. And Paul is one of our regulars on the Thursday night hangout. I'm telling you, it's good stuff in there. Part of me doesn't want people to know about it because it's we get a nice tight. We got our regulars. We get a solid dozen.
Our own
Speaking of,
but I'm a recent addition to the gang. So if you weren't going to tell people about it, I wouldn't have been able to get involved.
Recent. So. Are you? Now you've been around.
Well, you're there.
Richard is here audio only. Hold on a second. Richard, do you have video?
He normally turns his.
He's muted and not on camera. So
on there, but we can't bring him in. But one of the things I wanted to know that you were particularly impressed by one of our sponsors, the sponsored speaker, Chris, and we've had a few, and I went through with mine. So my highlight was Babola from Alta Host, and also basically going through with Sean Davis from Duda as well. And I really liked the talk that you were impressed by. I think particularly was Chris from Blue Host. So take
I didn't even get there yet. That was the next one.
Yeah,
that was the next one.
Chris
Lambiowski.
Yeah.
He had. I didn't take a lot of notes on his because I was snagging screenshots of all of his slides. They were Zachary. Am I right?
It was like 1 million golden nuggets per minute. I had a really hard time live tweeting that session because it was just so much value so quickly.
It was. We just have an interloper joining.
Sorry, I had to drop in.
Don't say sorry. We're glad you're here.
How do you make your microphone so loud, Buzz? It's crazy. It's really good.
I don't have any control over anything. Okay,
I don't know if I'd call it really good.
You have to you guys have controls over there, don't you?
No, we can't control you.
Not those kind.
You're out of control. No, exactly. But Steph, carry on. So, but why were you taking when we have replays, which Zachary works on with Shai, nobody knows these people in the background really, and I'm glad Zachary's
because here. Andrew, I want to have them in my downloads folder forever to never look at again. Okay.
Hey, exactly. So sorry. I'm really, really sorry. I do apologize, but
no, he ran some numbers, and I really wanted to have more time to talk to him at the end of his talk because he's a hosting guy. He's been in hosting for 15 years.
For sure.
And he did a masterclass on if you're new, if you're small, do these things in this order to get more clients.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal.
Yeah. But it's almost frustrating when you've been in business for a long time and then you get somebody that's been in the business for a long time on the other side, like a hosting and so talking to agencies all the time. We've got the same thing coming up in a few days. Ollie Feldman from hosting.com is going to do a talk, who's the sales guy for Global, I think. But he talks to agencies all the time. So he sees all their problems and then he can solve them. I think the whole message of this is really we're all about outcomes, and that's what these people are talking about. And even I've been in the business for so long, it's ridiculous. And I'm looking at these guys and thinking, why didn't I do that 10 years ago? What is wrong with me? And I'm really getting these nuggets out of there. Paul's nodding his head.
Did you catch that one, Paul?
Things I haven't, but it's one of the ones I wanted to go back to. And I was going to say, Andrew, to me, it's the value of something like this, where you can get somebody who has seen, and I mean, I try and fulfill the same function at a different level for a lot of my clients and consulting and coaching and stuff, which is talking to somebody who has seen variations of all of those problems, has a completely different perspective on which ones come up often enough to be worth talking about, and then what's an effective way to solve them, versus somebody who's hit it once and solved it once and then has no perspective on whether that was the best way to solve it or a good way to solve it, or is that something that comes up for a lot of people, or was it really just a me problem? So that's what I like about these guys, is their perspective, like you say, and like I get from you in the Thursday night chats, is having seen it come up so often in so many circumstances with so many variations. Your assessment and recommendations are really different than somebody who's just encountered it once or twice and is doing their best to come up with a solution with that limited amount of backstory to work with.
You know, Andrew, we were talking about something similar too the other day, because I mentioned Natasha Galinsky, who's speaking. I don't remember what day she's speaking this week, and she has built up a great agency. They do all, like, it's like serious coding. They're not like building Divi sites over there. And she's not a developer. And I am so impressed and amazed by that. And you said what I was thinking too, kind of, that is, well, yeah, because you're not, like, you can do it with your head, not your heart. You know what I mean? Like, you're not so in it that you can't see what it is. And so anyway, I thought that was really interesting. That kind of plays into that. So maybe that is how, because in hosting, he's like, you idiots, do this.
Do this. Yeah, but it's kind of, you know, I have always subscribed to the idea of there's no such thing as a stupid question, because you only know what you know, right? You don't know what you don't know. So that's a thing that somebody said.
Have I told you about my podcast that I'm going to start?
Yeah.
Pretty close to never. That is Stupid Questions with Steph.
Is that what it's called? Pretty Close to Never?
That's one of them.
Cool.
That's one of them. I've got like 10. If anybody would like to sponsor Stupid Questions with Steph,
sure, please
DM me immediately. Yeah.
But then why would you admit to asking a stupid question? This is what I'm trying to
see, that's the fun of it.
Is it?
That's the fun of it. That's why, that's actually kind of like why we're good at doing this job, if we could be so bold as to say so. But like, because we could say like, oh, what does that mean? And not be afraid of looking dumb.
That's true. You know? There are even, I mean, I'm in a lot of support groups as well. Part of my job is to talk to other support people. And none of them are afraid to ask a stupid question. You know, there's literally none of them.
Sometimes you wish they would be a little more afraid.
Well, they've got, you know, why does that happen or something like that? But it's just, you know, I think that we've got to a culture of, I don't want to seem to be an idiot, or I don't want to seem to be wrong.
Well, and
I mean,
and then also there's things like DNS. Come on. There are so many web developers who do not understand DNS. I could know more, but I got the basics. But like, I would go out there and say like, okay, I'll just ask the dumb questions, because I don't feel like I'm going to be, you know, like, I don't care.
Yeah, it's like, it's you know, Cloudflare workers. What's that all about? What's what are PHP workers? You know, so you can ask 30
and even
questions
with AI stuff, it's like
they'll miss it.
What was it that we were just talking about on last Thursday, Paul? I was like, Pressable now has MCP, and I'm like, I know that is a big deal, and that is so cool, and I would love it if I knew what it meant. Like,
but I think that's the other thing. I mean, I'm a big fan of my statement when I'm teaching is the only dumb question is the one you don't ask, because then it's going to guarantee to continue to be a dumb question, because you still won't have the answer to it. And I think so much of it is about the atmosphere that is created. Yeah, Andrew, I don't like the idea of, you know, we're happy to have you ask stupid questions. It's like, it's not a stupid question, because there's guaranteed to be somebody in here who has the same question. And no matter what level you're at, there is always the equivalent of a stupid question at that level. Like if I sit, I've got two colleagues of mine that are, I mean, one has just switched jobs. She is now the international director of SEO for Aritzia, multi-million, I think billion-dollar corporation. The other one, Mike, is just freaking brilliant. We have our own little chat a couple of times a month, and I sit there listening to those guys, and half the time, like I got 20 years in this, but half the time they're talking about stuff, and I'm like, whoa, wait, go back. You said, you know, such and such. Can you, you know, explain it like I'm 5 on that one for me? I'm 20 years in, and I'm still finding stuff that in any other situation would be classified as a stupid question. So I really get mad at the groups that have the attitude that says that there's kind of a floor here, and we're going to insult you if we feel like you're too low on the totem pole in terms of your level of expertise.
I'm not a member of those groups.
Oh no, I know.
I need to backtrack because I didn't do things in order. We're going, basically what we're doing is going through the highlights of the day. And I do
but that's the end of the day. And so,
yeah.
Andrew, just let's use your backtrack thing. I wanted to do just a quick lightning round, and we each just pick a top tip from today. And then we got to...
we got half a minute. We got 20 minutes.
Nope.
Do we
well, it'll also take 20 minutes for us to each do that. But
that's true.
Go for it. What's your thing?
My thing...
You just said you wanted to backtrack.
No, I wanted to backtrack on one of the talks that I did that I missed out that made me. Okay, my thing is Robert Abela. He from Mela Press, and basically when we go into a green room, people, we always go in and say hi to people. I know Robert. I've met him a few times, and I've used his plugins a lot, especially the activity one, and. The other day it saved my life, because not my life, my career, basically, because we're talking about accountability, and when we're talking about a stupid question, Paul, Zachary, Stephanie, Bud, there's some kind of accountability in there as well. So who logged into that site and did that? Well, the activity plugin tells you, and it's great. It's not about saying it's your fault. Or basically it's about proving that you didn't do it. I never say, oh, well, it's your fault, but it basically showed that a client had, without knowingly doing it, done something in the website which broke the website, right? So that's a kind of a thing. The client did what they then viewed as the stupid thing. But once you start educating people around what they need to do or what they can do, what kind of questions they can ask. You're on a maintenance contract. Ask us to do it for you. Oh, no, I thought it was a quick thing. Yeah, but it was a quick thing that broke your website and took you down for 24 hours, right? So, basically ask that stupid question, and the person that can help you with that will actually make sure that it's done properly and your website won't go down for 24 hours. That's it. That's what I wanted to go back again. Okay.
All right. Pretty good. Cool. I like it.
Right.
Bud, what was your highlight of the day?
Now, what do you think? Take a guess. I mean, come on.
Watching me embarrass myself?
No.
Wow,
no,
Andrew was like, that's my thing. I'm out.
Okay. Well, I didn't get to hear too much of the summit, so because I've been, sleeping or doing different things, or out looking at Hawaii. So, but I only heard Manish, and was it Chris at the end?
Well, that's not too shabby.
Okay. Well, Manish, what's the other guy?
Chris, yeah. That's not too shabby. Those are incredible talks.
Look, they're all great. Okay. I've heard so many of these, and they're all just top notch, really insightful, smart people who give you just a lot of tips on so many different subjects. I mean, I could, if I had the time, I would listen to more. But I don't have the time. Now, really, the best thing was the voice game, right?
I mean, obviously, that was my highlight.
Yes, of course it was. And you can still play it. In fact, people can play it throughout the summit until Wednesday, till the end of Wednesday. So make sure we give out that URL, seriouslybud.com/.
This guy does not.
Voices.
He doesn't give it a rest. He never stops.
I did share it on Twitter as well.
Wait a minute. /voices, not voice. Voices. I'm hearing voices.
Oh, I said the wrong one. You need to just get a redirect on that, bud.
No, I'm not doing a redirect. So
anyway,
so that's But I hope I get to check in a little bit on the next 2 days, but I doubt it because
there's replays.
Yeah, snorkeling is going to get in the way. Things like that.
That's what the replays are for.
Yeah.
I know. Poor thing.
Right. Yeah. So.
Zachary, do you have one?
Can I ask a quick question? Andrew, are you going to go to your WordCamp Europe?
I think Andrew dipped. No, he's back.
No, I had a sneezing fit, so I took myself
Yeah.
off the stage and a sneaky cigarette as well. But no, I'm not going to WordCamp. So not crack. Not it's not planned. I'm going to nothing. I've got a different job here, so my job does not require me to go to WordCamps.
What about Vito? Okay, enough with you. What
Vito's
about
definitely going to. Vito's
Okay.
definitely going, and
Right.
Steph's trying to take charge of it. So that's the answer. Vito's definitely going, but
Okay.
I'm not.
All right.
What am I
And
trying to
think
take
that
charge
I-
of?
right. Well, you're the boss. You know, you're the top podcaster professional in this room.
Well,
so, you know, there you
I
go.
mean-
What can I tell you?
Okay.
Right.
Anybody
Right.
else besides Vito from Aderum who's going to go?
Maybe Radost, who's our sales head of partnerships. and stuff
Anyway,
like
you're
that.
right.
So,
I am going to take over.
good.
Andrew's
Take over.
right. Paul, did you have
I've got-
a top nugget?
Trying to narrow down top ones. I'll give you three quick ones. One was the discussion around the Melipress. I'm sorry, I can't remember his name. Just caught the idea right at the very end of it, which is the question about performance impacts on the website. And I'm realizing that there is a bunch of stuff that I'm allowing to be tracked that doesn't need to be, that I could turn off, so that the database load is smaller, the size of the logs is lower, is smaller, all of that kind of stuff. So I'm realizing that there's some optimizations I can do, because I use it on some sites where there just isn't that much interaction from the site owner. It doesn't need to be tracking as many things as it is, just the major things like, did they log in? Did they do something with a plugin? Did they do something with a post? Did they change content? There's a whole lot of, just the minutia of logging that tool does by default that I'm realizing I should turn off to make sure I'm having less impact. I'm just in the middle of two weeks of technical debt fixes on client sites that necessitated a whole move of hosting. So I'm just really aware of trying to cut down the resource usage in all of the extraneous ways. So that was one. Your stuff was the idea of having 3 different levels of people to kick in when the bus hits. So that particularly that first level person being somebody who doesn't need to and probably shouldn't necessarily have any major position inside the business. They are just somebody who has a position inside your life who would notice that you had disappeared and could wave the flag or send up the flare or say, hey, it's time to invoke the next step in the process. So that was really good, because I've been struggling with that combination of,
because there's no good ways otherwise.
Yeah,
it's always
somebody who can do that, who would know enough about my day-to-day to know that had encountered a problem.
Unless your colleagues are willing to travel with you and come check on you if you are non-responsive.
Some of us have a person like
that. Not even paying attention.
Yeah.
Well,
that was my second one. That was my second one. And then my third one was just Zach. I got such a kick out of the video games. That was an amazing production to have.
Oh, good.
For each one of those sponsors. Like, I can only imagine how much work went into producing those. So, well done.
Speaking of, look who we've got here. We've got our Vibe Game Master, the Video Viber.
Do you have a favorite game, Paul?
I haven't gone through enough of them to say that I picked a favorite one.
It's the AppSumo prescription one.
Yeah, so
they just roll on my tongue. The name is so catchy.
They're right there. Talk about Zachary.
The Scope one, Stephanie's, the Frogger one are my favorites. They're a lot of fun. They probably took about 3 to 4 hours per game. It's all in the prompt. Most of the work was in the prompt, and then the lovable was probably the last 20%.
Right.
That's cool. So, guys, if you are having fun playing those games and you want to talk about it, Zachary's your dude. Hit him up.
Hit him up in the lounge tomorrow and stuff. But Zachary's busy. Zachary, tell everybody what you've been doing today.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So the main thing I do is live tweeting the summit. So we've got so many golden nuggets coming constantly all day. So my job is to hype up the speakers, because we have an amazing lineup of speakers this year. And I also put the golden nuggets on social media as well. So like Stephanie, what you were saying, Chris is also one of my favorite speakers from today. And as a social media guy, he was talking about the importance of community. People hire people they know, I think is what I'm trying to say. They're not going to hire people that they find off Google. So, the importance of finding people off your Facebook group. I'm in your Facebook group. I'm in the admin bar. I'm in all kind of different groups, just networking. And another thing on that is when you're really good at networking is you don't have to go at these things alone. Paul recently helped me with an issue with my email a few months ago, which I'm hugely thankful for.
Aww.
Stephanie has helped me with my stuff. There's all these resources out there. Really get out there and network if you're not doing it, because it gives you a support group and it also allows you to find clients. So,
and if you do it right, it's not even scary. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Thanks, Zachary.
But
all right, guys.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I'm just saying I'm having the time of my life live tweeting this stuff. I mean, there's just so many golden nuggets constantly. It's great.
Zachary.
And the speaker lineup this year is amazing.
Zachary is the best. Amazing. I think we can all agree.
It is amazing.
Zachary's my highlight of the day so far. All right, y'all. We're heading out. It's time for dinner for me. It's time for bed for these guys. It's time for, I don't know, breakfast.
Before you say goodbye, thanks very much for being here, everybody.
Thank you,
I know
guys.
you're trying to rush home and everything. It's late for me as well. But tomorrow is even more incredible, if it can be. We've got loads of people coming in. See us at 1 p.m. EDT. Hopefully Stephanie be awake, because that's like 8 a.m. Or 1 p.m. EDT. Yeah. What time are we on? 1 p.m. UK, 8 a.m. EDT.
I don't know what you're saying.
Times mixed up. It's late. It's 8 a.m. tomorrow. We're launching this. Yeah. Vito hopefully will be better. If not, I've got to prepare myself to take his place in the morning, which is no problem at all. But see us tomorrow. We've got Krayla, Christian Makoa, Vito. We've got Sandra Kurz from Grade, thank you. And we've got, and I know her so well as well, she's going to kill me. And we've got just a couple of others. We've got Robert Jacoby, who did such a great job last year. We've got him doing a little fireside chat with Kevin Gibbons from Re-Signal.
Come on. Stop How much did he pay you?
Hey, get out of here. I can remove you, it's not a big deal. So it's going to be exciting. We've got we've got Katie Keith from Barn to Plugins. She's a renowned speaker around WordCamp. She knows what she's done. She's adjusted her business, and she's really cool. So tomorrow,
you need to have her on the podcast, bud.
We got Jen Harris as well, that doing some accessibility. We got loads of stuff going on tomorrow. So now, Steph, you can say good night, everybody.
Aloha.
Aloha. Also, just had to put this up here that Uta is leading the board on the prescription game. So if anybody feels confident, your app Sumo, go play. All right.
I was really bad at it when I tried it like an hour ago.
Good night, y'all, or good afternoon, or whatever. We'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, good night.